Hi everyone, Mr. Sam here. Today we're going to talk about where our food came from. Now we know that farmers grow fruits and vegetables for us to eat, but where did this food originally come from? We found it. These foods were growing in the wild. The fruits and vegetables that we eat today came from nature. They were wild plants that humans have domesticated, which means we've changed them over time. But how? Let's figure this out. Where did this food come from? Think back to a time long, long ago. There were no grocery stores, no refrigerators, no restaurants. Where did our food first come from? Did food come from A, aliens from outer space, B, we made it, or C, we found it growing in the wild? If you said C, we found it growing in the wild, then you're right. We had to find food in nature. The first humans hunted for meat and fish, but they mostly gathered food from plants growing in the land around them. What are some foods from plants that early humans could find in nature? A, nuts, B, berries, C, seeds, D, fruit, E, all of these things. If you said E, all of these things, you're right. Hungry humans ate every plant they could find. These hungry humans are our indigenous ancestors. By eating all of the plants around them for a long time, they eventually found the best plants to eat and learned which plants to avoid. Thanks, indigenous ancestors! Wait, what does indigenous mean? Indigenous means native, the first or earliest people known to live somewhere, like Native Americans. What does ancestor mean? Ancestor means the people you come from, which is your parents, your grandparents, your grandparents' grandparents, and their grandparents, stretching back hundreds and hundreds of years. So indigenous ancestors were hungry and had to eat. Eventually, they learned the best plants to eat. After generations of gathering, they invented farming, where they could grow the food they wanted, instead of having to search for it growing in the wild. The problem was that not all wild food was very good to eat. The first farmers chose which nutritious plants to grow. When a plant they liked made seeds, they collected them and planted the seeds. Some of the plants grew smaller, some grew larger. Some of them tasted bitter, some tasted sweeter. Let's use a wild banana as an example. What would you rather eat? A small and bitter banana. B, a small but sweet banana. C, a large but bitter banana. D, a large and sweet banana. If you said D, a large and sweet banana, you're right. Early farmers decided to grow the largest and sweetest bananas. By only growing the seeds of the healthiest, tastiest, largest, best plants to eat, farmers created the fruits and vegetables we know and love out of wild plants. This is how our indigenous ancestors domesticated wild fruits and vegetables over thousands of years and turned small, bitter-tasting plants into much larger, sweeter, healthier food for us to eat. Let's play Guess the Fruit or Vegetable. First, we will look at some wild fruits and vegetables. Then indigenous farmers domesticated them. Your job is to guess what fruit or vegetable it became. What did this wild fruit become? Banana. What did this wild vegetable become? Carrot. What did this wild vegetable become? Corn. Let's learn about corn. Did you know that we grow more corn worldwide than any other food? But corn wasn't always juicy, yellow, and sweet. Corn's wild ancestor is a grass called teosinte, which grows in Mexico and Central and South America. Indigenous farmers discovered teosinte as a food source and started growing it. When they planted the seeds, some grew large and some grew small. Which ones did they prefer? Yes, they wanted larger plants, which gave them more food to eat. Over time, they grew teosinte that was larger, sweeter, and more nutritious. This did not happen overnight. It took a long time. Corn has been grown for over 10,000 years. Let's give thanks to the indigenous peoples who discovered and grew teosinte and domesticated it to create corn. Now we have so many delicious and nutritious ways to enjoy corn, from corn on the cob to tortilla chips to my favorite, popcorn. It was good popcorn. Thank you so much for watching.